some things that I can do on Kelly that I might not be able to do on Armand, and the way I might approach doing things on Armand that I wouldn't approach on Kelly. So,
do you want to like take the straps down on this so that you don't have to go around them, or?
Sure.
Yeah.
Stuff everywhere.
Now she can't see.
I'm blind.
So, like any massage, I would just start with the touch, but for most of my clients, in this case, they would be in for the shoulder work, right? So it's not all about having the sort of the Wyndham Hill beautiful sort of background thing. So it would be fine, and I would talk to the person and start and say, I know a lot of what's going on is in your back. What I really want to do is get this front opened up a little bit. And I know that your impact was at the right side, right? Mm-hmm. You have the issues just below the collarbone, probably at the first rib or maybe on the collarbone itself. So I really like to do some work to loosen up here before we start getting to the other stuff on the front of your back, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to start actually with a tiny bit of neck work to see what's going on in that area. I just need a little bit of grip, so I'll use some oil here. Ouch, that's the
It's hot in here.
I know. Can someone open another window?
It's like actually like it's hot. I don't know if it's just because I like walked here really fast.
I think the heater was on high here all night too, so I think that's part of it. So just a little bit of spreading of oil and feeling that shoulder girdle, how it's moving. The upper appendicular skeleton definitely goes down to the left a lot easier to the right. Can you see that in the motion? Can you see how the covering all the way down there and you get that good motion? And here it's just a little stiffer, especially up here. So I can feel that, and I feel a lot of ease in this spot. You can certainly feel it in the body. Anyone want to check that out just to see? Yeah?
I can like feel my whole neck pulling with it. Honestly.
You might? You? I just want you to push on each side and see if you feel the same thing I feel. You don't need to use the brick if you don't want to, so push that side. And take it all the way to the end range in a very, even sort of manner. Good. I'm going to show you how I would suggest doing that. So you get here, you just do a nice long pull that way, a nice long pull that way.
Okay.
Any difference?
Right one feels tighter, but in a different spot than the left.
Okay, but you're also feeling that tightness on the right
Yeah.
side for sure. So that's kind of checking in with. Where are you feeling on the right side?
Coracoid process maybe?
Yeah, I feel like it's right in here, right in this whole
Yeah.
area through here. And on the back side, it might be underneath a little bit more. On the left
Yeah.
side, it might be underneath a little bit more. Okay. So just wanted to see, check that out. Then I like to do, I still want to do a little bit of feel good, and I want to just go ahead and kind of encompass, and I want her to feel me working on both sides of her body. We want a little bit of a 360 thing going on here. And her arm lays there nicely. If it didn't, some arms don't. You put a little bit of a bolster or something underneath it to hold it. That seems to work for her just fine. So I'll pull this up here. And I'm just going to right down pec minor first, out on a stretch. Is that pressure okay?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And it just gets tighter and tighter as you get to that coracoid process. And from that accident, I think this whole area, right there's a good spot. Mm-hmm. This whole area is just thick. It's just protecting. A lot of the muscles are both neurologically and just physically compromised. So I'm slowing down. And I like to go ahead and inch up with my hold hand and be a little more specific. So now that I'm on a very short portion of the muscle, I can work in that area more targetedly. And being way up here, right? If I have a rubber band that's stretched out this far, and my problem's up here, I want to get both hands closer to that zone so I can go ahead and manipulate it with a little more control. Otherwise, I'm losing a lot of the feel over that length of that rubber band. Does that make sense? Just a couple little touches like that.
That's like right on the edge. It's still like really tender in there.
And that pressure right on the edge?
Yeah. That feels good. It is.
And I was taught this in one of the Feel Good classes here, and ended up realizing, oh, actually what they're doing is they're testing the mobility of the shoulder. They're not just doing the groovy, hippie hands. I want to see how the shoulder comes out from the back. So I'm going to reach underneath, grab that scapula like we've been grabbing, and I'm going to yank it out this way. And I'm going to focus more on the upper rhomboids. Yeah, they're tight. And now here's where we start to right away use some of that physic principle. Now my hand underneath is the fulcrum. Okay, we got the shoulder joint here, so I'm pushing up on one of her spots. And I'm getting on this shoulder here, and I'm pulling down this way. You see that same fulcrum, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of edging down, slowly going down the scapula.
Mm-hmm.
Another big stretch, rhomboids at the spine, stretch out till I get the scapula, then pull, and again a little bit of that fulcrum underneath. Oh, while I'm at it, let me show you a fun sort of test of the whole body when they're laying on their back that I like to do as well. I love to do that thing where you get underneath the sheets, you get between the transverse process and the bottom, the lower angle of the scapula, and then you just pop your fingers up like this. Nice breath. And next you pop your fingers up like that, and just let them rest there. It's the pressure of their own body, so it shouldn't be too much. If someone who's really overweight, it might be too much. But usually it's not. Yeah, if you did get it, like, I might not be able to get underneath you. I should check that out. You got lay on your back. Let me show you how I was working was supposed to hurt. Okay, so I do it in two different spots like this. Boom, boom. And then I come underneath, and I like to put both hands up like this. Okay? So I get my both hands so that I have them between your scapula. Just tighten the left side. Take a nice breath. And on the exhale, I just pop up. So now I have her like a car on a rack, you know? And I want to see how that rib cage moves. And all this stuff we're seeing on the right side, up high on the right side, on the bottom, I mean on the posterior side, it's on the left. Mm-hmm. All that stuff is on the left. And you can really feel it. And if you look at her body, you can see a little bit of a turn this way, especially when I have my hands underneath. The shoulders are down,
mm-hmm.
and the chest is up like that. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now Kelly, I'm going to try it over here. So over here, see, it's a little bigger. No, stay down. And I'm going to go ahead and put my hands underneath. And it's going to be a little bit harder. Take a nice breath. And exhale. Okay, so that's a little hard on me. It's a little hard on me. So what I'd probably do with him, I actually would do it with him is this way. But what I might do is just turn two fists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Sheet suck. Yeah, that's what I do. I just get my hand and I would turn a fist here and a fist here. And I can get an idea. The trade-off is I'm not going to feel nearly as good with the bottom of my fist as I am with my hands. But I can still get that idea there. Get up a little bit. We're still there. Now I'm spreading out into that car rack thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got him. Chest moves really nicely side to side. There's some raised muscle right here that's of interest. That's what the bone. I like to get my edge of my knuckles on either scapula and then just spread them out so I can spread the scapula out underneath. Can you feel that, Emma? Slight modification. Let's see if I would do the same with this. I might also use the fist underneath here as my fulcrum. Hand like this rather than like this because of the bulk on the shoulders. But no, I can do it here. Put the fulcrum there and pull on over. Nice. This there. And now he's bigger, right? So instead of this,
mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not strengthening. Look how I'm just falling, right? Just dropping down.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a little bit of a difference from one person to the next. Thank you. Sure. So now I think I'm going to go ahead and focus a little bit on one of the spots where she has, where the accident occurred. So right here she said it's really tender. So rather than trying to drill down there immediately, I'm just going to do a little bit, trying to watch my time, on her neck. I want to see if I can get the muscles to relax on her neck that's pulling up from that same spot, going past the scapula and going past the collarbone to the first rib. And try to get to the anterior scaling. Just hold it there. And there's a little bit of a trigger point right at that spot. Do you feel that, Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
Just hold that, and then maybe open up that neck. So the idea is we're working on the shoulders, but I want to relieve some of this tension up here in the neck, especially on the right side. I'm going to go up higher on the scaling, go up to the top of the scaling. And I love to talk to the clients about the scalings are going from your vertebra here to your first rib. So part of what they do is they bring your neck in this way. They're really breathing muscles quite a bit, but they do bring your neck in this way. So I don't have to do it with Kelly because she understands. But